Hello, I'm Peggy O'Neill, and welcome to today's Facebook Live, The Natural Evolution of Relationships When Living Aligned with Our Essential Nature. And I'm the founder of this group, answering the call, and the purpose of our time together and this group is to answer that call, that inner call, that sense that maybe there's something more to life, maybe there's something more for me to contribute. There's some sort of longing. And so we're answering that longing. And it's actually, that longing is actually us inviting ourselves back home to ourselves. And then the second thing we do, the second call, so to speak, that we answer is that as we know our essential nature, that's what the longing is. We really want to know our essential nature of love, peace, happiness, fulfillment. And when we know that, then the natural next element of that is, how do I want to express my unique divine expression? How do I want to live that? So that's what we're doing here and exploring here. So welcome again to today's session. And if you're here live, please put in just say hi. Say hi if you're here live. And if you're watching this on replay, please put in the hashtag replay. I love knowing you were here. And if you have any questions, comments at any time, please post them and I will answer them. And hi Sharon. Hey Lisa. So glad that y'all are here. And again, if you have any questions, comments today, let me know. Always love them. So again, the natural evolution of relationships when living aligned with our essential nature. So I'll start with just so the knowing what when we know who we truly are, or as we're working with our essential nature, one thing that there is to know is that there's nothing to change. There's nothing to change. So we often think about, well, if I want something different in my relationships, whether they're great already, but you'd like them to be better, or maybe they're off and you'd like them to be something else, we think about changing ourselves or the other person or the way we talk, or so we focus on change. We don't do any of that here. We don't need to focus on change or developing ourselves. Why? Because as we know our essential nature and live as that, as the title of this says, we naturally are different in our relationships. So it's a natural evolution of our relationships as we connect more fully and deeply to our essential nature. So there's nothing to change. And so then where do we start? Connect with our essential nature. Things naturally evolve. Okay, how does that happen? Well, the first thing is to do that, to know our essential nature, to know that we're one with everybody and everything, including the universe. We're one with everything. We've talked about that before, so I won't go into detail how to do that today. But that's the first thing, is we know our essential nature. We stand as that. We stand as awareness, consciousness, spirit, God's infinite being, source. We stand as that, and the essential nature is love, peace, happiness, fulfillment, freedom. So we stand as that. And then what we're doing is we're removing anything that's between us and living that naturally. Beliefs, habits, thoughts. We're not changing. They start naturally as we see them, they start naturally fading away because we see them. That's how that happens, because when we know and we're focused and we stand as who we truly are, then the beliefs that are out of alignment with that can't hold anymore because they're not in alignment. Okay, so we start with our essential nature, knowing our essential nature, and part of that is remembering that there are no others. If we're one with everything, there are no others. So this seeming other that I'm in relationship with, yes, in our human experience, there's a body-mind here and a body-mind there, but we know that we're two expressions of the same being. We share our being. In fact, if you've ever been in love, you've had that experience, maybe just for a few moments or a few years or a few moments here and there over the years. But when we feel that shared being, that's love. Now the love, the quality of the love, the type of love is going to be different, of course, between the type of relationship that we have, whether it's an intimate relationship or a newfound friend or something like that. but it's that shared being experience that as we know who we are and live as that we experience that more and more. So there are no others. So I'm always talking to myself. I'm always being with myself. So that starts shifting right there. Even as I said that, I can feel, oh, now I don't have to be defensive. Now I don't have to pretend. Now I don't have to do anything. I'm talking to myself. So, and now our thoughts and our beliefs do condition us to believe that there are others. Again, we've talked about that another time. Won't go into detail about that today. So I'm assuming that you're embracing everything I've said so far. If you've been here before, if you haven't, let me know, and I'll find you and send you the links to the sessions I'm referring to here that we've already talked about. So, so I'm assuming that you're embracing that we're all one. So let's say, most of the time when people are interested in talking about relationships, well, maybe not most of the time, but I'm going to focus mainly on a situation where maybe someone's annoying us, or they're doing something that we feel annoyed. That's a better way to say it. They're doing something we feel annoyed, frustrated, or maybe infuriating even. I've been in those situations. Feels infuriating. So let's look at, now I'm not also talking about unacceptable behavior. That's a different conversation. So yes, there are always things to be done with unacceptable behavior, but we're not going to talk about that today. We're just talking about a normal relationship with historically, in our human conditioning, kind of normal kind of issues, irritations, frustrations, infuriations, those things that in the past have been part of our relationships. So what's going on when we feel annoyed? They did something, and then we felt something, including we judged it, right? We had a thought, a judgment. They did something I don't like. Now all that happens so quickly you may not normally notice it. You just notice, oh, I'm feeling annoyed. Well, somewhere in there, they did something. A thought arose that you didn't like it. In fact, that's the cause of our suffering, what we like and what we don't like. Like causes suffering because if we like it, we're trying to hold on to it. Okay, but they did something we don't like. Okay, suffering begins. We're annoyed, we're frustrated, we're infuriated. And then we feel some emotion in our body, historical pattern. That sort of activity will tend to activate that emotion. Now, so what do? We remember, oh wait, so I'm going through the steps today, but what happens naturally over time is we're doing what I'm saying today as steps. So you don't take this on like a practice. I'm just explaining how, as you know who you are, it naturally evolves. So what happens is we judge somebody, and then and we're paying attention to thoughts. So what we can do is remember, or what we will do over time is remember who we truly are as the open, empty, allowing space of awareness. Just like the space in the room right now where you're sitting, we tend to ignore the space. We don't even think about it. That's the same with us with consciousness. We tend to ignore who we truly are, and yet it's ever present. And the space in the room is open, allowing. It doesn't matter who came in here, how they acted, whether they're happy and beautiful and sweet, or if they're angry and annoying and ugly, let's say. The room doesn't go, you can come, you can't go. You can't come. It's the same sort of thing. That's who we truly are, is that open space of everything I'm allowing. Not I, the separate self. I don't mean that. I mean I, the one being I am allowing. This is in front of me. I'm allowing. I want to be that experience in my being of allowing. And then what's also occurring is we have stopped getting caught up in our thoughts. Because remember, reason we felt that feeling, annoyance or whatever, is because we identified with a thought, a judgment. Made that judgment right, that person wrong. And so, as we know who we are, we have quit listening to those thoughts. We don't get caught up in them anymore. So yeah, a thought may come up, about whatever the person did, but now it's a passing thought. It's like, I need to go to the grocery store. I don't have any reaction out of that. It's just a thought that goes by me. So that's what happens. So now we're not paying attention to the judgment. We're open. We're not paying attention. We're not paying attention, getting caught up in our thoughts. Now let's look a little bit more at judgments and thoughts. So think about this. Think about it. Why do we judge? Somebody does something that's kind of annoying. Why do we judge? So we judge, really, because we're trying to keep ourselves separate. We don't realize that, but that's what we're trying to do. Because as soon as we judge somebody, that behavior is annoying. What does it do? Again, then we start in a thought, way of thinking, a thought loop that keeps that conversation going, and we're feeling that feeling. What does that do? Pushes us away and them away. And so we realize because as we know who we are, we realize that's what's occurring. So that's another reason why we don't listen to thoughts and those judgments. Now, let's say that another reason we judge, or that we're thinking about this other person or what we want in a relationship, is what? We really hope they would change, right? Well, if they just change, then I wouldn't be annoyed and frustrated and infuriated anymore. They just change. So sometimes we want to talk to them about their behavior. We take it on like, okay, I think I'll talk to them about their behavior. Now, I'm not talking about unacceptable behavior. I'm just talking about something that's annoying. And I'll try to get them to change. And why do we want them to change? Because what is it we want to feel if they changed? Some version, I'm going to guess, of peace, happiness, love, maybe. So what we really want is our essential nature. Already there. We're already happy and peaceful and loving. So again, as we deepen our experience of our essential nature as that, then we also don't need them to change so that we'll be happy. We're already happy or peaceful. And so again, over time, as we deepen this experience, then we aren't looking to them for happiness or looking to them for change for me to be happy. Now I'm happy already. Let's see, I'm seeing what I wanted to say next. So think about that. If we just naturally do everything I've said today, that we're just always remembering, I'm an open, empty, allowing space. My essential nature is love, peace, and happiness. I'm remembering that. I'm being that. I don't even have to remember it because now I've embodied it. So I'm this open space. A judgment comes in, an opinion comes in about somebody's behavior. Some sort of annoying feeling shows up. Again, I'm not getting involved with either one of them. So they pass through me like clouds. They pass through me like clouds. Then, and I'm already happy. I'm feeling the love and fulfillment that I am. Now, what do you suppose happens when I'm with that person and they do that annoying behavior again? Probably not going to bother me. In fact, over time, as I did this work when I was living with my mom, I didn't do it this way because I didn't have these teachings at hand. But somehow, Spirit gifted me with the knowing, don't get involved with thoughts, don't get involved with emotions, just focus on who you and my mom are, divine beings, and that we're loved. That's what I did for months on end, until one day she did one of her annoying things, whatever it was, and I felt this chuckle in my stomach. You know, like you might with a child that's acting up or something, you kind of feel this chuckle inside. And I knew everything had shifted in that moment. No longer was I relying on her to be different or me to be different. It just shifted that now her behavior didn't annoy me anymore. Yes, occasionally she'd do it again, and I'd feel a little trickle of annoyance, but I'd remember everything. I mean, and I remember it wasn't like a practice. Oh, now I need to remember. No, no. It naturally came because the pattern and the habit was getting removed as I went along. And one of the people in the praxis has a significant other that has historically they've had some. He would say things and it would bother her, that sort of thing. Exact same thing I've described here has happened. Now he can say the exact same thing. It's like water off a duck's back. Doesn't bother her at all. In fact, she just laughs now. I mean, it's totally, and it's totally changed their relationship. They're happier. She's happier. It's just totally different relationship. All by everything I've said today that evolved naturally. As we know, we're not our thoughts, we're not our emotions, we don't get tangled up in them. As we know, we're one with all that is. As we know, we're love, peace, and happiness. And by know, I mean in our body. Like I know my name. It's not an intellectual thing that I know my name. I know it. Or I know how to tie my shoes. It's not a concept. I can actually tie my shoes. So I know how to tie my shoes. Same thing here. It's a knowing. It's embodied knowing that that's what happens in relationships. And then what happens is because we've been releasing our attention away from thoughts and emotions that aren't aligned with who we truly are, then what naturally happens as we stand as who we truly are, be that, feel that, embody that, other thoughts come to us. They just naturally come to us then. Other feelings come to us that are aligned with who we truly are. So you can guess what happens then. From this open, empty, allowing space, not focused on thoughts or opinions, judgments, not focused on emotions. I'm a divine being, they're a divine being, we're one. And you can imagine, new thoughts come, different kinds of conversations come, different kinds of behaviors show up. And just that naturally happen because of what occurs as we live this knowing. Let's see, I think I might have covered everything. So all that, isn't that what we really want? I mean, we really want to be happy in our relationships, peaceful, loving, and it's already possible, already available by removing everything that's in the way. So I'm guessing maybe by now you've thought of some things like, yeah, if I'm an open, empty space, I see them as another aspect of me, and I'm not judging, and therefore I'm not reacting. You might be starting to imagine now, what could be different in a relationship? Now you might also be thinking, well, that sounds easier said than done. Sometimes people say it's easier done than said because it's actually more natural to be who we truly are, because that's who we truly are. The other is just stuff we've had, all stuff that we've accumulated over the years. But yes, in the beginning, it does definitely, in my experience, it's easier said than done. And so you might be thinking this sounds too easy, and yet it's actually the only reason it's not easy is because our ego. And I love our ego. Nothing wrong with our ego. Ego's great. We want our ego. It helps us. We want the sort of a sense of ourselves that can navigate the world. But the part of our ego that wants to be better than, be right, identifies with the judgments we've had with the other person, identifies with the relationship that signifies. Yes, our ego doesn't want to let go of that. That's okay. Our ego is actually not who we truly are. Ego is an imaginary self that a thought created. I've talked about that other times too. But if you want more about anything I've said today, please put it in the comments and say, oh, please tell us more. Tell me more about this and so on. Happy to go into it more. The other thing that is actually going on with all of this is that when somebody does something that we feel that activated energy, it's actually a gift. It's an incredible gift. Why? Because it's showing us that we're not fully established in our essential nature, good news. I can be more loving. I can be happier. I can be more fulfilled. So it's just pointing to thoughts and emotions that are still out of alignment with who we truly are. And then we welcome our emotions. So one of the kind of an easy way to be with emotions and even thoughts is what I've gone over before, but the simple method of relax, just relax, allow, be the allowing space that we are. Release the thoughts, release the emotions, and then open. So we can say that quickly to ourselves until it becomes just natural that we do everything I've said earlier, where we're relaxed because we know who we are and being that. With allowing space, we release thoughts, emotions, anything that's out of alignment with who we truly are, and stay open. And so those any sort of challenging situations are actually gifts that if we don't do what we normally do, maybe get involved with them or try to fix something or try to change us or change somebody else, it's actually a gift that we can transmute that emotion, transmute that experience, and open to being even more loving and peaceful, more of who we truly are. So what do you think? Any thoughts, comments, questions about today? So I've covered everything that I had made notes to make sure to offer today. So I'll repeat. We want to remember that we're one with everything and everyone and the universe. I'm always being with myself. Let's see, Sharon. Aspen trees, multiple, are actually one interconnected organism, single. Each tree looks different from the others, but that doesn't make it separate. So as each human body-mind is an experience of consciousness, then there is no separation. It is all one. Beautiful, beautiful analogy, Sharon. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. They're not separate, all intertwined, all one, and we're one with them too. All one. We all are. No separation. So we'll remember that. Again, we don't have to remind ourselves because we've worked with this enough over time that it becomes natural. And then we're remembering that we're the open, allowing space. A thought or a judgment, belief comes up, and or an emotion. We allow them, welcome them. We don't resist. We don't get caught up in them. We don't agree with them. We don't get into our usual behavior with them. So at the beginning, first few times, maybe months, that you're standing as who you are, it might feel very challenging because the ego is going to tell you, but you do need to tell them something, and you do need to change them, and this shouldn't be this way, and on and on and on. It'll talk to you a lot. But we want to remember that that's not who we truly are, and not listen to it. And then being the loving, peaceful person that we are, and then allowing different thoughts will come, different ways of being will come just naturally. That's why we don't have to change. And that's why relationships naturally evolve. If they're already great, they'll just be even better. Okay. All right. Anything else today? Thank you. Thank you, Sharon and Lisa, for being here in person. If there's anybody else here in person, thank you too. And thank you for watching this on replay as well. And enjoy trying this out. You know, next time you're with somebody, so you can by say try this out, because if you're not doing this consistently already, it will be a try it out. Yeah, up front, sometimes we've got to remember some things. But next time you're with somebody that you're not having any sort of challenges with in a relationship, be this way there. Because this isn't just about a relationship where you'd like some things to be different, although I think most people in most relationships want something to be different. So, but start with an easier relationship and remember this. Be the open, empty, allowing space. There you're talking to yourself. Watch any judgments, emotions. Let them go. Remembering that if you're wanting something to be different, it's because you're looking for an experience in circumstances. You think the circumstances will make you even talk that way. Circumstances. Find a relationship that'll make you happy. That's not accurate. If we want to be happy, that's never going to happen. No, I'm not saying that we won't be happy in a relationship, but I'm wording that differently. Yes, we can be happy in a relationship, but what won't happen is being in a relationship to make us happy. So, but we lead with our happiness. Be happy in the relationship. And then I'm sure you can imagine already how the relationship will start evolving with your presencing who you truly are in that way. You're welcome, Sharon, and you're welcome, Lisa. All right, see you later. Bye.